Hi class, today is Monday. As you can tell, I'm not here today. I have a couple appointments going on. I am not still on spring break in some place warm. So what I would like for you to do right now is to please answer these 6 warm-up questions. Remember, this means 8 squared, 14 squared, 20 squared, and so on. Please come up with those answers. Please pause the video while the students do this. And when you are ready, you can have the students answer them for you. And I will have the answers when you come back. Hopefully the students were able to come up with 8 squared is 64. 14 times 14 is 196. 20 squared is 400. 18 times 18 is 324. 25 squared is 625. And 21 times 21 is 441. Today's essential question is, how can you find the volume of a cylinder? What I would like for you to do is to look at these 2 cylinders. Which one do you think has a greater volume? That means how much can it hold on the inside of each? Please pause the video, have a short discussion, and explain your reasoning with a partner as to which one holds more. As you look at these 2 cylinders, ironically, they have the same amount of volume. We will come up with a formula very shortly that is pi times r, which is the radius, squared times the height. So in this one, we would take 3 times 3, which is 9, times 4, which would give us 36 times pi. In this one, we would have 2 times 2, which is 4, times 9, which would also give us 36 pi. So these 2 cylinders have the same volume. The volume V of a cylinder is the product of the area of the base and the height of the cylinder. We know that the area of the base of a circle is pi r squared. So our formula is pi r squared times h. Let's find the volume of the cylinder. We will eventually round our answer to the nearest tenth. The formula for volume is volume equals the area of the base times the height. We also know that the area of the base is pi r squared. The radius in this case is 3. The height is 6. So we substitute our 2 answers. We also know next that 3 times 3 is 9, times 6 is 54. So our answer is 54 pi. If we take that times 3.14, we will get approximately 169.6. So the volume is about 169 6/10 cubic meters. Volume is always cubic, whatever the label is. This time it is meters, so we have cubic meters. This time we are to find the height of the cylinder. Round your answer to the nearest whole number. This time they give us the volume, they give us the diameter, and they do not give us the height. So again, the diameter is 10 inches, so our radius is half of that. The radius is half of the diameter, so this distance is 5. Volume again equals the area of the base times the height. We are then going to substitute in. We know that the volume is 314 inches, cubic inches. We are going to say that the base is pi times the radius squared, which is pi times 5 squared. And then we have h by itself because we do not know h yet. When we multiply this, we get 25 pi h equals 314 because we took 5 squared. 5 times 5 is 25. That's where we get the 25 pi. Our next thing that we will do is we will take 25 times pi and then we will divide 314 by 25 pi because we want to get h all by itself. In this case, h equals 4. So the height is about 4 inches. In the first example, please try to find the volume by taking pi r squared times h. And in the second one, please find the height by finding first the radius, multiplying that by pi after squaring it, and dividing by 176. Please pause the video and see if the students can help you get the answers for the volume in the first one and the height in the second one. In the first one, we are going to take 4 times 4, which is 4 squared. We are then going to take that 16 times 15. We are going to multiply that by 3.14, and we will get the volume of 754 cubic feet. We could also leave it in terms of pi because 16 times 15 will give us 240 times pi. In the second one, we had 4 squared, which gave us 16. Therefore, we are going to take 176 divided by 16, and that will give us 3.5 centimeters. Our next problem is an application problem which asks how much salsa is missing from the jar. We know that our jar is 10 centimeters tall, the radius is 5 centimeters, and we still have 4 centimeters left in the jar. Therefore, we have 6 centimeters missing from the jar, and the radius is 5 centimeters. We can then substitute in from our formula volume equals the area of the base times the height. The area of the base is the radius squared, which is 5 squared, times the height, which is 6, because 10 minus 4 is 6. When we multiply this, we get 25 times 6, which is 150 pi. If we multiply 150 by 3.14, we will get approximately 471. This is the approximately sign in math, so our answer is approximately 471 cubic centimeters of salsa are missing from the jar. In our next application problem, we are trying to find about how many gallons of water does this water cooler bottle contain. We must also eventually know that 1 cubic foot is 7.5 gallons. So the first thing that we need to know is we need to find the radius. Since this is the diameter, the distance across the whole thing, we know that the diameter is 1 foot, so the radius is 1/2 foot. We can then write our formula, volume equals the area of the base times the height. We know that the radius is 0.5 squared times the height, which is 1.7. When we multiply that together, we get 0.425 pi, or approximately 1.3352. Here's where we have to use the information that 1 cubic foot equals 7.5 gallons. So if this is the cubic feet, we will take 7.5 gallons for 1 cubic foot. 1.3352 cubic feet times 7.5 gallons equals approximately 10 gallons. Therefore, the water cooler contains about 10 gallons of water, so the correct answer is B. What I would like for you to do now is to find the volume of the cylinder. Notice in cylinder 1 and 2, we have the radius. The radius is half of the diameter. So 3 is the radius here, 10 is the radius here. In 3 and 4, this distance is the diameter, 6 is the diameter, 8 is the diameter, so we have to find the radius. Please find the volume of the cylinder, round your answer to the nearest tenth. Again, you may use a calculator. Pause the video, have discussion, and when you are ready, please come back and I will have answers. The volume in cylinder number 1 is 54 pi, or approximately 169 6/10 cubic inches. In problem number 2, it is 1600 pi because we take 10 times 10 times 16, then times pi, which is approximately 5,026.5 cubic feet. In number 3, we have an answer of 162 pi, which is 508 9/10 cubic meters, because this is 3 times 3, which is 9, times 18, which gives us our 162. In problem number 4, we get 192 pi, or 603 2/10 cubic inches. The diameter is 8, so the radius is 4. 4 times 4 is 16. Times 12 gives us the 192. Again, as a quick reminder, if you have the radius, we take the radius squared times the height times pi to get us the volume. You can leave it as a pi number, or if you would like, and using your calculator, you may use 1600 times 3.14 to give us our answer. If you have the diameter, we have to cut the diameter in half, square that, and then multiply it by 18, and then multiply it by 3.14. Your assignment today is workbook page 160. I would like for you to do all of it. It will be due tomorrow. You may use a calculator. Please show your work as I was doing on substituting, so that we know that, that you understand the process of how we are finding volume. Thanks, and have a great day.